Hello, YouTube. God was reminding me the other day about tests and how sometimes a test is required in a different location. So I was going and I had to go take a test. I take online virtual classes, but this specific math test needed to be done at a location. So I was taking it and the Lord reminded me, yeah, Kristen, some tests require a different location. And this hit home for me personally because my husband and I did a very big faith move in 2022. Our life honestly felt like it was crashing down because we had to find a different place to live because our landlord needed to sell the house, and my husband broke his ankle at his job that requires him to walk and deliver mail, and everything was just very difficult. They didn't want to do workman's comp, and he had also torn his tendons. It was really hard, and at that time, Jesus sent someone to start giving to us financially, and it really supplemented what he was making. And that was the moment that we had to choose whether or not to get a place in the town that we were living in, which would have been the logical, smartest, best decision. But for years before this instance, Jesus had told my husband and I both that we would be going to Texas. And we prayed and said, Jesus, okay, whenever the time it is to go to Texas, please just allow us to have supernatural provision and we'll know that it's time to go. So it was all the same time of us getting kicked out of our place and receiving this financial gift from these people who are beautiful people. Are we going to stay in the town that we're in and make sure everything is safe and good? Or are we going to do what Jesus has been telling us to do for years? And we even talked to the people who were giving to us financially, and they said that they felt like we were supposed to go. So after much confirmation, that's exactly what we did. We got rid of most of our things, but we got a U-Haul and we packed all our stuff in it, and we drove there with no place for sure that we would know where we were going to live. We got a storage unit, and then we just started living in motels, hotels, and Airbnbs for about 3 months. And that time breaks my heart, even though it was beautiful. It was such a hard time, and I was postpartum, but Jesus telling me that sometimes the test is required in a different location healed a bit in me, because it's easy to believe that all of that was such a horrible thing to do, even though we were just trying to follow God. This wasn't a random decision. It wasn't a random move. It was something Jesus had been telling us to do for a long time, and we specifically prayed, Lord, when it's time for us to go, allow supernatural provision to come. And this was supernatural for us. And a lot of crazy things happened, and the Lord used it to refine us. But he wanted me to remind that to you today, that whatever he told you to do, wherever he told you to go, it's not in vain, and it wasn't for nothing. Just like Abraham took his son that he waited so long for up the mountain because God told him to, right? He took that journey up the mountain with his son to sacrifice. It was a test. God wasn't going to let him kill his son, but it was a test. And he had to travel up to that mountain to do it. There's a reason. And it's the faith behind it. It's God seeing and showing in us, are you going to do what I say even when it seems to contradict what everyone in the world would tell you to do? Are you going to listen to him? Are you going to risk it all if he says to do it? He'll always confirm what he wants you to do. It'll not be random. It'll have peace, regardless of what it looks like in the physical. So if that's you, know today that Jesus sees your obedience, and he's going to make it make sense. This is the season where he makes it make sense.